2016 was weird. Yeah, let's leave it at that. It was weird. But for all the weird things that happened this year, there were also some high points. And so I've decided to put together a list of said high points and to share it with all of you. And considering this is a YouTube channel, what say we start out with some of the strange and wonderful things from the platform itself. Let's kick things off with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, which had its climactic finale this year. And if somehow you have not seen this twisted nightmare of a children's web series, I highly suggest you go remedy that right now. To talk about it too much is to probably give away some of its many surprises, but trust me, if you enjoy looking at creepy, weird internet shit as much as I do, this one is for you. And also, if you want to dive deeper, then check out Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared Explained from the channel Nightmind. He's a great guy who investigates and analyses all manner of weird and bizarre happenings on the internet. His video on Poppy is also excellent. And also, check out Poppy. She's terrifying.
Hi, I'm Poppy. In this video, I'm showing you how to load a gun.
Linking everything I talk about in the description below. The best thing I could say about A Fox in Space is it's basically what Nintendo's Star Fox is in your head when you're a kid. Backed up by some great expressive animation, some terrific and hilarious characters, I love you wolf, and some razor sharp dialogue. If you like Star Fox, or hell, even if you don't, you should check out this slice of neon-infused 80s style cartoon comedy. It's one of the best fan projects of the entire year. Pokemon blew up a lot again this year thanks to the new video game Sun and Moon, which I have yet to play but plan on whiling away some cold winter evenings doing so. But one happy little offshoot of this was the official Pokemon Generations YouTube web series. If you're a fan of Pokemon or just plain old good animation, you should go watch the first episode. It's 4 minutes long and is simply about a Pikachu beating up everything it sees, with some really fantastic, fun and bouncy animation. The rest of the series is pretty fun too, but that first episode is a real must-see. I don't know if it's my love of dumb 90s mall music or my deep-rooted Simpsons nostalgia, but I cannot get enough of the weird crossover subgenre Simpsons Wave, which splices ambient vaporwave music with distorted footage of the old show to some really stunning effects. My personal favourite being Crisis from Lucian Hughes. Its melancholy tone and trippy visuals always hit the spot after a long day's editing, so check this one out. We live in an age of remix, as you may be able to tell from 70% of this website. But sometimes you see someone who goes so far above and beyond, it's simply incredible. And Lolligerjo's video Ghost Audition really exemplifies this, remixing old Studio Ghibli clips with tripped out music. I don't know what dark magic they work on the footage to make it look like this, but this combined with some great music and intense editing make for one of the most surreal and engaging videos of the year. I also really like this video called My Cat is Fucking Crazy. I'm going to keep my anime section short because hell, it's practically all we talk about on this channel. And this will probably come as a surprise to exactly 0 people. My favourite shows this year were JoJo's Part 4 and Mob Psycho 100. The misleadingly named Yuri on Ice was pretty damn good too, from director Sayo Yamamoto of Michiko to Hatchin fame. It had some beautiful animations, some real heartfelt moments, and at the time of writing is not yet complete, but let's just hope the show delivers. Pokemon Sun and Moon turned out way better than anyone was expecting. It is still Pokemon, it's still Ash, and it's still Pikachu, and they still refuse to let Team Rocket catch any of their own Pokemon for some odd reason, but the animation and character designs is so goddamn vibrant and fun, it just makes watching it an absolute pleasure. Your Name is a good movie for cool people. While it stretches a little long in places and probably didn't hit me quite as hard as director Makoto Shinkai's previous film Garden of Words, it is still a great watch, being all at once touching, funny, and maybe, just maybe, the most beautiful goddamn movie I have ever seen. If you get the chance, I would totally try check this out on a big screen. It really, really deserves it. As for older shows, Kaiju Ultimate Survivor is a story about a down-and-out nobody who discovers that he's pretty good at gambling. I don't want to say too much, but I don't know if I've ever seen a show this dripping with tension and despair, but I loved every single goddamn second of it. Now, if only someone would make a video on why you should watch it. Honorable mention to Cabanari of the Iron Fortress and Space Patrol Lulico. And hell, if you want to see some dumb bullshit, go check out Taboo Tattoo, it's pretty okay. I also like wrestling. That's right, it's still real to me, damn it. And this year I discovered the infinitely insane Lucha Underground. The best way I could describe it is that it's a mashup of a pro wrestling league, Mexican soap opera, and Dragon Ball Z fanfiction. It's every bit as weird and bizarre as you hope for. Pentagon Jr. is my boy, and holy shit, did you guys see that casket match? In WWE news, Shinsuke Nakamura is finally here, Bobby Roode has the greatest theme song of all time, and the age of AJ Styles is upon us. But the real highlight for me this year was the rise of the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Her match with Bayley at NXT TakeOver was wrestling storytelling at its best, and watching her come to the ring looking like a damn Dark Souls boss was just about the coolest thing I have ever seen. As for games, VA-1 Hall-A is a visual novel style game that sees you take the role of a cyberpunk bartender in a dystopian sci-fi world. You serve drinks and conversations to the memorable patrons of the titular bar, some of whom are a cyborg bounty hunter and a 24/7 live streamer. If you're anywhere near as horrified by the idea of interacting with actual real-life humans as I am, this is a great alternative, backed up by some stellar pixel art and what is probably my favourite soundtrack of the year. This is also a great way to dip your toe into the genre of visual novels if it's still a mystery to you. Anatomy is a horror game from indie developer Kitty Horror Show. It takes about an hour and a half to play through, costs less than an expensive ice cream, and is quite possibly the best use of environmental horror I've ever experienced. If anything I said on the subject in my Silent Hill video hit home with you, then I really recommend you check this one out. I've been a fan of Street Fighter since Alpha 3, and so it was with much anticipation that I awaited the series' monumental 5th entry, Street Fighter V. And despite a botched launch and cripplingly shallow single player, it's the only game this year that had me punching the air with delight after some incredibly tense and fun matches. And is probably my favourite game in the series since Third Strike. The characters and stages for the most part look great, for the most part can, and seeing all the old faces again was like meeting back up with a group of old friends. I'm hoping Capcom continues to improve on this game, as it still needs some work, but the 100 or so hours I put into it were some of the high points of my entire year in gaming. I would also like to take this opportunity to address the rumour that I have some kind of unhealthy obsession with the character Amica. I can confirm that this is nothing but baseless slander spread by my enemies to drag my good name through the mud. Do not send me your Amica fan art. I repeat, do not send me your Amica fan art. At Eyepatch on Twitter. Hyperlight Drifter is one of those rare cases where you wait and wait and wait for a game, and when it finally comes out, it's everything you wanted it to be, landing somewhere between a sci-fi tinged Dark Souls and A Link to the Past. I enjoyed every minute of my journey through its beautiful world, and despite how small the sprites are, the combat feels consistently weighty, exciting and tense, backed up with an awesome soundtrack from Disasterpiece. This one is Game of the Year material. For full disclosure, I was a backer on the Kickstarter, but I was also a backer on Mighty No. 9 and Fury is a game entirely comprised of 10 one-on-one boss battles, and its mix of bullet hell and character action provides a terrific, tense challenge that looks amazing, sounds even better, and if you like games like No More Heroes or just love a good challenging boss fight, then you need to go download this neon-tinged boss rush fighter. Much like half the planet, I got really into Overwatch this year. I found its fun cast of characters infinitely more appealing than the usual cavalcade of grey beard men of the standard online shooter. And even though I am literally the worst shot of all time, I had a lot of fun with this one, especially when playing Zenyatta or Widowmaker. And if you did end up on a team with me at some point, then oh god, I am so sorry. 2016 will always be the year where I caught up and finally finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 Steel Ball Run. And I know I've mentioned it in other videos, but holy shit, seeing what seems to be Araki at his absolute peak was such a joy. Scary Monsters, True Man's World and D4C are quite possibly 3 of the finest stand encounters ever, and make Part 7, for me at least, the undisputed king of JoJo's. Or at least it would have if I had not started reading Part 8, and if the first 20 chapters are anything to go by, Christ, this is great. I have a friend who describes it as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air crossed with JoJo's, and really, what could be more pure and perfect than that? Saga continues to be one of the absolute best comics of all time. It's hard to even get specific about what it does right, seeing as that it's basically everything. If you like great art, likable characters, and a pounding story with all manner of twists and turns, go buy this one right now. Lion Cat is the greatest fictional character of all time. And finally, my absolute favourite thing of this entire year was you, the viewer, or more accurately, the fact that you're watching this or have any of my videos in the past. I really have been shocked by the level of support people have shown for this channel, and all I can say is thank you so much for sticking with me up until this point. I'm going to be doing everything I can in the new year to try and improve and get better at making videos, but seriously, thank you so much. It's really meant a lot to me. And that about does it for my year in review, which means, unfortunately, this will be the last video I post this year. Or will it?